Hello, student. My name is Shoykot Dash. I am the instructor for your CS1400 class for this summer. Um, uh, Throughout the semester, you will see me sending a lot of announcement and email just to make sure I'm an instructor. And my name is Shoykot Dash. Let me go through the slide. So share my screen. Okay. Okay. So Uh, welcome to the summer semester. I'm the instructor for this course CS1400. The course title is Fundamentals of Programming. Again, my name is Shoykot Dash. You'll be seeing me many announcements sending to you and emails throughout the semester. Let's talk about the course introduction and several important things that you need to know before we begin. So let me walk you through them. So in this course, we'll be learning many programming fundamentals and concepts. We'll be using Python programming language to implement those concepts. There are several required things that you need to know before you start. As you know, this is a very short semester compared to a regular semester. Normally, in a regular semester, we usually have 14 whole weeks and then another week for the final. And there are some other longer breaks like fall break, Thanksgiving break, or spring break. But unfortunately, in the summer, we don't have any longer break. So it is basically a continuous 13.5 week semester. It is short semester that I have already told you. And the final exam is on the last day of class. So you need to pay more attention during the summer semester compared to any regular semester. Well, these are the required things that you need to know, like who is your professor, where you can find the course syllabus, how the course work. As I told you, I say it is a very short semester, and the important thing for you is like how you can check the deadlines. The first thing, you should go to the calendar page. I'll show you in a minute in the Canvas. This is the best approach. I also plan to send out an announcement once a week, probably early Monday, if it is not a holiday. If Monday is a holiday, then I'll try to post it on the Tuesday morning. At the very beginning of the week, early in the morning, I will try to give you an overview of what you need to do throughout this week and what is required things that you need to finish on that particular week. In addition to that, in the modules page, you will find the course content organized by week. I will go through the modules page and Canvas in a minute, but for now, I want to give you a hint. Like on the module page, there are like several modules, and for each module, we are going to cover a concept every week, basically. So in every module, you will see some student learning uh, item, uh, which tell you what you are required to learn for that particular week, along with the weekly overview. In addition to that, for every week, I have already uploaded class videos from my earlier semester. For example, I taught the same course for the last spring, and I recorded those classes and uploaded the video for you. I have also uploaded some explanation video for the project. Again, those are optional. You're not obliged to watch them, but they can be helpful. So you are not required to watch them. They are some optional resources, but helpful resources. Okay, I already have told you about myself, who I am. Again, here's me. It is in the Timpanogos peak. So I plan to hike this summer again. If any of you are a hiker, probably you'll see me any of the peaks. My name is Shoykot Dash. You can either call me Dr. Dash or Professor Dash. I am an assistant professor in the computer science department. I completed my PhD from University of Memphis, and my research interests are cybersecurity and machine learning. If you are interested in any of those topics now or in the future, you're always welcome to talk to me about my existing project or your own new project idea. And the important things like where you can find me is the very important things. We have gone through a lot of moving from our old CS building to a new building. You may have seen the new building on the hill, the Smith Engineering Building. My office is in that building. The room number is 410A. Since this is an online class, this is usually better to reach out to me or meet me online rather than in person because I do not go to the office very often during the summer. But if it is required, I can go there. I just want you to know where my office is located. Okay, I told you about myself, but I think I can best be described by my students, right? So I think they they can easily describe me through their SRI comment. So here's some comment from a student from the SRI. One student said, I was flexible with due dates if you are asked nicely. And the student said, I was great at being understand and answering question, being merciful. Student appreciate that I was open to helping them when they needed it most. I have done coding step by step while explaining new concept. I am available uh, and willing to help. Very helpful in the class. We don't have any in-person class, but I still happy to help you in the online session. Um, address your question as well. Student also mentioned that I was quick to respond. They say I explained how to do everything in detail in a helpful way. So those are some best comment from my students from the last SRI. Okay, so the next thing is how can you meet me or how can you communicate with me? The preferred way of communication is Canvas message. You know, uh, how to send a Canvas message, right? The reason I put the Canvas message at the very top is that whenever you send me a message there, I can immediately see your name, your section number, your course, and everything else I need. That means it doesn't take me too long to figure out who you are before answering you the question. If for some reason you cannot use the Canvas messages or you don't have the access and at any point, you can always send me an email at my email address here, my first name dot last name at uvu.edu. But make sure you write the course name and the section number before you start the conversation so that I can identify you easily before answering your question. Uh, since it's an online course, we don't have any in-person meeting, like in-person or office hour, but I have a virtual office hour here. I will be showing in a minute. So you can, the third option of communication is the meeting to me virtually. So my office hours are every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. through Microsoft Teams. However, you must schedule a meeting before you stop by virtually. The reason is that if you do not schedule a meeting, I may already be assisting another student during the time. So it is much better to schedule the meeting beforehand. Now, the important question is like, how do you schedule a meeting? In Canvas, you'll see a booking page. I will show you how to schedule a meeting when I go to the Canvas. From there, you can schedule a meeting with me. Okay. Now, the course syllabus, you can find the course syllabus in the Canvas. Let me go to the Canvas. Here is the Canvas homepage. This is the homepage of our summer course shell. Make sure you know the course drop deadline with 100% refund by the Monday 11th. So just to give you some hint, this is the homepage for our summer course shell. I have not yet added that introductory video. So after I finish recording this video, I'll place it to there. You can also see some helpful links such as syllabus, instructor information, officer booking page, and some other helpful videos. Under the modules tab, you can see all of the modules. There are like 14 modules for the course content, one for course orientation, and the last one is the final exam. So when you click the syllabus, it goes to the syllabus page, instructor information. So I'm going to show you here like office hour booking page. When you click this office hour booking page, you can book an office hour meeting with me through this page, just to make sure if you need multiple time. It's like 15 minute slot. If you need more than 15 minutes, book consecutive slots. Make sure you write your name, section, and everything, UID, and other things. Under the syllabus, what I missed, in the home page, under the syllabus, you can go to the syllabus page, instructor information I already mentioned. Let me go to the syllabus page. Here is the syllabus page. In the syllabus, you would find me some basic information. I already mentioned those things. I hope you will read the course description and the learning outcomes so that you understand what you're expected to learn by the end of the course. You also check, so you should also check the prerequisite of this course. I hope you already have satisfied this prerequisite. For this course, the required textbook is Think Python version 3, which we often call like TP3. You can find that book through the provided link. It is free and available online. Most of the content I use comes from the TP3. There's also another version called like TP2. TP2 is more like detailed version. TP3 is more interactive. You can also find that the link online. I already have mentioned like added those information under the modules page. I'll be going through in a minute. In addition to that, I plan to use the Google Colab text notebook. I already have attached those things in the module page. They are meant to serve as an all-in-one reading source. So you don't need to worry about setting up everything immediately just to read course content. For this course, you need to install Python 3.13 and also an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment, where you will write your code. There are like several well-known IDEs available, but I typically suggest that my student install the VS Code, which is very much popular. Um, what else? The grading, for the grading, we use the standard grading scheme. There are like two basic types of assignment in this course, like formative assessment and the summative assessment. For the formative assessment, you can see these categories like reading, the required reading is 5%, discussion is another 5%, lab assignments are 10%, project supporting lab is 5%. You can see they are like very low stakes assignment. The highest stakes are like programming project, which carries 40%. Midterm, like we have two midterms, each will carry 10%, in total 20%, and the final exam is 15%. So if I add up those numbers, 40, 20, 15, 75% are from all those three categories. So just to make sure you spend more time on those resources, but you cannot avoid those things because they are the pillar to finish your project properly, to get a good point in the exam, midterm, and the final as well. So yeah, you need to spend more time on those things. In addition to that, there are like three extra credit on top of the 100%. 1% for the final exam bonus question, 1% for submitting the SRA at the end of the semester, and another 1% for meeting your professor online. For that last extra credit opportunity, there are like 3 meeting days. You need to attend all 3 meeting days to receive that 1%. So mark your calendar for those days. I will share the meeting link once it becomes available. So keep checking the syllabus page for the exact link for those specific days. So each meeting is like 15 minutes long. So the reason for these 3 meetings is that I need to know my students, and at least I need to see my students, and my students should be able to see who I am. I don't want to be just a ghost in this course. So we can also use those meetings to discuss any issues, concerns, or challenges you may be facing during the semester. Okay, now the late work policy. So all assignments are due by the end of the assigned date, like 11:59. All assignments are penalized 10% per weekday after the due date, with a maximum penalty of 20%. That means weekday means if something due is Friday, so you are typically not charged late penalties for Saturday and Sunday. So if you submit it on Monday, you would count as like 10% late, not 13%, 30%. So after 2 weekdays late, the penalty becomes like 20%. Like this is the maximum deduction. So keep in mind. But the thing is, like, I do not respond to your messages during the weekend. So it is really tough for me to answer those questions during the weekend since it's like summertime. All are busy with traveling. If you're sending me any email or messages after 12 p.m. on Friday, I may be answering those questions on Monday. So try to finish your project or your assignment by Friday. Don't wait uh, till Saturday or Sunday. Probably I may not answer your question on those weekends. So keep in mind on those things. But you are not charged for late penalties during the weekends if you'd like to work on the weekend. But by policy, I cannot assign anything in the weekends. By policy, we need to assign anything in the official day. So that's why it is due on Friday. Okay, you can always submit or resubmit your assignment before the last day of class, which is August 7. And as I told you, the maximum late penalty is 20%. So from day 3 to the end of the class, it's like 20% maximum late penalties. One important thing is like the late work submitted under the instructor discretion may or may not receive feedback on time, as because I may not see your submission, like late submission on time. So keep in mind those things. For the exam policy, there is no makeup exam. You are not allowed to take the exam outside the specified scheduled time period. The policy applies specifically to the midterm exam. So mark your calendar for the specific time period. There is no late penalties option. There is no separate exception. If you miss it, then unfortunately you miss it. Okay, in addition to that, you have two grace days that can be used for the programming projects only. So because you already have those grace days and late policy and other accommodation built in this course, there really should not be much reason to contact me for further grade change or extension, right? This is good for you and good for me. But yeah, however, if you are using any grace days, make sure to let me know or let the IA know, okay? Now, let me talk about some weekly task structure. As I told, there are like 4 types of tasks on every week: the reading task, lab task, project task, and the interactive task. So on the reading task, on the Canvas page, you'll see reading materials that you need to go through. After reading all of the materials, you need to submit a consent quiz, which is like yes or no. So just to make sure you already have submitted or you already have read the reading material. This is basically an acknowledgement. It states that you understand that I may assess your comprehension of these materials at any time through the questions, informal assessment, quizzes, and other uh, instructional methods. So it is essentially a consent and acknowledgement task, basically. Then the lab task, each week you will usually have 2 labs. Typically, labs are due on Tuesday and Thursday. These labs are designed to help you master the concept covered in this week. Then the project task, for the project, there are like 2 parts. The major part of this course, basically, to help you complete the project properly, you need to submit some project supporting lab. These labs are specially designed to support your course project. They are very small, focused tasks that directly contribute to the larger project. I strongly recommend you that you submit the project supporting labs so that they can help you to complete the project correctly and accurately. And definitely for the project, I told you about the project, like there are like 5 big projects and they are under an unified theme. You need to read the theme first. This is the theme page that can be separated by 3 weeks apart, so you have some time to work on each project. So keep in mind, just mark your calendar for those project deadline. And definitely, I will send out the announcement when to submit your project and all of those things. Then the and also the for the midterm, I already have told you there is no makeup exam. So there are two midterm exams, one in week 5 and one is another week. I already have mentioned here under the schedule. You can see here the midterm should be midterm one first. So this is under the within these 2 days, June 15th to June 17th. Midterm two is from July 20th to July 22. And there are some review videos and all other things there. So you can watch those things later. Okay, so interactive task, as I mentioned, there is no makeup exam here. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Interactive, so the midterm is not under the interactive task. It is under some part, not under project, not under discussion. So for the interactive task, I mentioned that for our federal guidelines, we have to have some interaction with the student for an online class. That's why we have a discussion here. So you need to submit your discussion every week. So initial posts are due on Thursday, and the follow-up comment is due on Friday. Follow-up posts are expected after the initial post deadline, and they are not marked late if submitted within that required discussion window. This discussion concludes by the Friday following the due date. So and posts begin to be marked late on the next business day after the Friday. Basically, business days means Monday. Okay, so here is the tentative summer schedule. From module one, you can see we start from May 6th, and first week is very short, so you're getting some extra time for this first module. So the next week is also the module one. The third week is module two, basically. So you have 1.5 week for module one. And you can see here like one module on each week after module two. But you can also see the last week, you'll have a lot things to do. So this is the last week, August 3rd, module 13, module 14, and the final exam. Since it is a short semester and there are many more things the final week, so we don't have a separate final week. So because of the timing of the final exam, I made the module 14 optional. That means you can still submit the assignment for that module, but it will not be counted toward your final grade. But you're most welcome to submit your assignment there. I believe the project should be in the module 13. So it is due on module 13, not the 14. So I think it's a 12 actually, due on this week. I need to change these things. Okay, other than that, make sure everything clear. There's some important policies. Since you are enrolled in this course, you're responsible for doing your own work. You must read the student responsibility. As for the instructor responsibility, I try to respond messages within 1 business days. However, as you know, this is the summer semester and many people may be traveling or away. I still try to respond within 1 business days, but if not, then probably by the next day. But keep in mind that if you send me an email or message after 12 p.m. on Friday, you will likely hear back from me early Monday. I do not respond during the weekend. Also, if there are multiple emails or with the same question, you'll probably see that information in the announcement section. So make sure you turn the announcement notification on so that you will get the notification as soon as I post the announcement. Academic honesty policy is very important. In the era of AI, people are trying to use many tools to dishonest ways, right? You can get help from external resources or AI, but whenever you submit anything to me, it must be your own work. Whatever you submit, make sure you understand it properly. If I find you that you're cheating, then the assignment will be a non-replaceable grade of 0, and you will receive an 1 letter grade deduction at the very end. On the second instance, you will get a letter grade of E or F, whatever the last grade is, and be removed from the course immediately. There are some other policies and technology help resources. You can find those information from the syllabus. I'm not going through details. Let me go to the modules page. So if you click here, modules, you can see the very first module is the course orientation. You can find a lot of information like syllabus, instructor information, officer booking page, then Canvas tour or tutoring page, a lot of helpful videos. And for the project, this is like unified theme for the project. You need to go through the project overview. These are the required textbook. As I told you, most like TP3 and TP2 are the same. TP3 is basically an interactive mode and TP2 is like more detailed. So here, both versions are here. So if you need more detail, go to the TP2 version. If you need to go through an interactive version, then TP3 is the best way. As I told you, every module you'll see an overview page and a student required learning page where you need to know what you're going to learn from this particular module. What are the required things that you need to learn? And as I told you, each week is divided into separate tasks, reading tasks, lab tasks, project tasks, some interactive tasks. In addition to that, I have added the lecture videos, PowerPoint slides and the videos that can help you to better understand the concept. And I already told you I plan to give you a weekly announcement to know what are the required things to do for that particular week. So the first thing is like to go to the announcement page to know what are the required. In case if you don't have the announcement option click, then you can go to the calendar page. So here is the calendar page for me. If you go to the calendar page, you can see these are the required things that you are going to be submitted for this week and the next week. So as I told you, you have an extended first week. First day, you need to submit a discussion about like introduce yourself, what I have just mentioned about myself. You need to create your own video, what you are, what you are planning to do, what you're expecting from me, some hobbies, something like that, in between 3 to 4 minutes long. Then you need to read the reading materials by Friday and submit a lab. And the next week, Tuesday, there is another lab, and Wednesday is the discussion, and Thursday is the project's supporting lab, like PS lab you can see here. So these are the 2 weeks plan in module one. Then from week three, basically, I would say this week as a week 0. So this is week 1, week 2. So from next onward weeks, every week there is one like module materials. As you see here, the project 1 is due on Friday, 22nd on May. So make sure mark your calendar. You need to finish the project by then. But definitely, I will send you an announcement on every week. Okay, so let me go to the slide again. How the course work, I already mentioned the Canvas syllabus. So since it is a 3 credit hour course, you are expected to spend at least 9 hours per week completing the course materials. I strongly recommend you to schedule your class and homework time in advance. As I mentioned earlier, meet your professor thrice is an optional extra credit opportunity. You need to meet your professor 3 times in order to receive an extra credit. This is completely optional, so you don't need to feel any pressure. So participating in those meetings is optional. You can get some idea what we are going on, or like what are the concern, what are the challenges the people are facing, or if you have any question, you can raise those questions during this meeting. And definitely we can introduce ourselves. Okay, and then the learning curve, this is important things. So for the learning curve, you can see for the first, for the first 3 weeks, what happened? So for the first 5 weeks, you can see the learning curve is really steep. That means you are eventually learning new fundament, like new programming concept in those weeks. So at the same time, you are developing or implementing those concepts. That's why first few weeks is really steep. Over the time, it is going to be stable. You can see these are stable things. So once you learn everything, then you can just implement those things. Then helpful resources. So you can find help from the IA at CS Tutoring Lab. Basically, I'm not sure the exact room number, but I'll let you know about the tutoring lab and who is the IA. I already know the IA name, but I want my IA to introduce himself. So probably you'll uh, see an announcement in the announcement section that who is the IA, what is his office hour, and everything. In addition to that, you will see a Microsoft Teams channel, which I will create after I publish this course, where you can connect with your classmates and get some help. However, I typically do not spend too much time in Microsoft Teams, so I may not answer your questions there immediately. Whenever I click it, I'll definitely answer those questions. So don't expect me to answer any question in the Microsoft Teams channel, but you can throw any question to there. If you want to ask me any questions, send me email directly or send me messages. You can always ask help from your classmate or teammates, but do not share any code and do not use any code that you don't understand. These are very important rules. If I suspect a problem, I may call you and meet with you for the clarification. And again, at any point during the semester, if you have any questions, send me an email or schedule a meeting through my office or booking page to learn more. Okay, happy learning, and I'll be reaching out soon with a lot of information. Have a good one.